Hi everybody, so this is another day of finding the missing angle or side of a right triangle. So look at the do now. This looks like a SOHCAHTOA problem, right? But it's not. This is a Pythagorean theorem problem. How can you tell? Well, if you notice, we have two of the sides. We have our hypotenuse or C side, and then we have our A or our B side. So don't be confused between SOHCAHTOA using sine, cosine, tangent and Pythagorean theorem. We have two sides. We just want to find the third. So I'm going to do a squared plus 20 squared equals 24 squared. Okay, I don't know 24 squared off the top of my head. 576 equals 400. Subtract 400 on both sides. We get a squared equals 176. So a equals, let's see, it says find the value of x, simplify the radical. So now we have to figure out, can we simplify 176? So let's see, 176, 1 times 176, 2 times 82, 3 doesn't work, 4 times 44, 5 doesn't work, 6, 7, I think 16 and 11. That's it. 16 and 11. So we can simplify this. So we're going to make that 16 times 11. The square root of 16 times the square root of 11. So x equals, or a, 4 root 11. So that's our simplified answer. All right, pause the video and find the value of theta. Now, we're finding theta this time. We're not finding a side, we're finding theta. So, SOHCAHTOA. All right, so I've got my opposite, I've got my hypotenuse, and this is my adjacent. So I have nothing where the O is, which means I have AH. AH is ka. So cosine theta equals A over H. The first letter goes first, 12 over 13. Now, special case, when we're finding the angle, this is when we use our inverse. So we have theta equals the inverse of cosine of 12 over 13, and then we're just going to put that in the calculator. So I'm going to hit second cosine 12 over 13 in my calculator, and I got 22.6 degrees. Now, if you are not getting 22.6, send me an email because you probably aren't in degrees. We are doing degrees, right? When we're talking about angles, we're always doing degrees. All right, next one. Label our triangle. We have our H, we have our O, and we have our A. So this time we have O and A. O and A is tan. So tan of theta is opposite over adjacent. O is on top, A is on the bottom, 4 over 13. Again, we're finding our angle, so we're going to use our inverse. Tan minus 1, 4 over 13. I'm going to plug that in the calculator, or you do this on Desmos. You can use the app. Second tan, 4 divided by 13, and I got 17.1 degrees. All right, so that is finding the angle. All right, now we're going to find a side. Pause the video, try these on your own. You should be able to do these by now. So we have our hypotenuse, we have our opposite, and our leftover is our adjacent. So we have nothing where the O is. So we have SOHCAHTOA. So we have A and H, which means cosine. Cosine of equals. Cosine of the angle. Remember, it's the angle is on the inside, whatever's in the triangle, and inside the triangle, inside the parentheses. Cosine is A over H. The first letter is in the numerator, second letter denominator. So I've got 11 over X. So now X is on the bottom, so this one is takes one extra step. I'm going to put this over 1 and cross multiply. 1 times 11 is 11. X times cosine of 37 is X cosine 37. X times cosine, this is times, right? Whenever things are touching, that means multiplication. The opposite of multiply is divide. So divide by cosine of 37. X equals 11 divided by cosine of 37. In the calculator, I got 13.8. Not degrees, though, because these are sides, not angles. All right, next one. This time we have our H, O, and A. Oh, it's a cosine again. Look at that. All right, so we got cosine of 60 equals A over H. So this is the easier one. This one, the X is on top, so it's only one step. Cross multiply, X equals 11 cosine of 60. Remember, you cannot multiply the 11 and the 60. The 60 is stuck in those parentheses. Plug that in your calculator exactly the way you see it, and we get 5.5. And we are done. One more. All right, last one. This has no problem. What is it asking? I think we're supposed to we're going to find two things. Let's find X, and we're going to find Y. Let's find both of those. Okay. This is called solving the triangle, where you find everything you need. So we have our opposite. We have our hypotenuse. And we have our adjacent. So let's start by finding the hypotenuse. Let's find Y first. So to solve for Y, we've got our hypotenuse and our opposite. So that's sine. So, right? So sine of 51 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cross multiply. 9 equals Y sine of 51. Divide by the sine of 51. Y equals 9 divided by sine of 51, 11.9. All right, so now we're going to find X. So for X, I have my adjacent, and I'm going to use the 9 again. A and O is tan, TOA, tan of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. Cross multiply. 9 equals X tan of 51. Divide by tan of 51. X equals 9 divided by tan of 51. And I got 7.3. Now, we actually could have done this differently. Once we figured out that this side was 11.9, we actually could have done the Pythagorean theorem. Let me check. 11.9 squared, 81 square root. So doing the Pythagorean theorem, I got a different answer. I got 7.8 instead of 7.3. So something with the rounding was a little off. I'm not really sure what, but it's still 7, I guess. That's kind of a big difference. So there are multiple ways to do this. All right, that's it. So short lesson. Basically, I just want you practicing with these skills. We're going to be doing word problems on Friday. Have a great day, guys.